Well, I'm in the Mojave National Preserve up in the Granite Mountains at Granite Pass, and driving all day, and I'm just going to do a short little recon hike, do some better hiking tomorrow. Just want to get some of the road weariness out of me. But right off the bat, I know you're not going to be able to see this, but I'm going to try to zoom in right where they're at. Right in that juniper right in there. You can't see them, I'm sure. They're not going to let me get close enough to really get a good look at them. But there's a pair of long-eared owls. So there's a pair of long-eared owls in here roosting. This is only the second time in my life I've seen long-eared owls. They're like a smaller version of the great horned owl with longer ear tufts. They look a heck of a more like a tree branch than a great horn does. But maybe, just maybe, you can see a little vertical thing sticking up there on the side of the juniper, a little vertical projection. That's one of the owls. I'm trying to stay away from them. I'm trying to go around. I was going right up this canyon, but I'm going to go around. So I really don't want to disturb them. You know, what happens is, sometimes these long-eared owls will form mass communal roosts during the wintertime in the deep deserts. 50, 60, 100 birds. Owls all roosting in a tree, and as soon as someone finds out about them, everyone swarms in there. And the reason they come out here in the middle of the desert is because they don't get disturbed out here. But what happens is, a bunch of birders gets on the networks, and everyone rushes out to go take a look at the new roost site they found. And guess what happens? Well, they chase all the owls away, and they go find some other place where they won't get bothered. So I'm going to work my way around them so I don't disturb them. I'm looking towards the west-northwest, and in the distance you can see the Kelso Dunes. Pretty cool country. But, the sun's going to blind you, but I won't be doing any fast hiking through here. It'll be a boulder scramble tomorrow. Like I said, tonight I'm just doing a little loosen up, get a look around. But according to my gazetteer maps, and remember, they're not all that trustworthy in the backcountry. There are several springs in this area. One just on, so if they're still here and they still have water, I should detect them by the difference in vegetation around them. We'll see. Rock climbing tarantula. Just saw a bobcat over here. Maybe if I'm lucky. I don't think it saw me, but maybe it did, and it was slinking away. Maybe we'll give you guys a look at it. No, I think it was. I think it definitely heard me. I wasn't walking very quietly, so I think it saw me or heard me and was slinking off. I just caught a quick glimpse of it. Little guy, but it's pretty cool. I mean, I've only been out here half an hour. Already found a pair of long-eared owls and a bobcat. Come on, it don't get much better than that. This is what I call a coyote bulletin board. Usually at the junction of a trail or so, you'll find these piles accumulated over years of droppings. Basically what the coyotes are doing is, as they pass along, they come here, they smell that so-and-so was here, doing so-and-so, was eating so-and-so, basically read the bulletin board and then leave their little comment on top. And they just keep doing that over the years. So this is how they kind of communicate amongst each other, as well as with howls, with these feces piles. Scat piles will build up over the years, and you'll get quite a bit of them in here. So I'm on a trail here. So the coyotes do say so. They've got it marked. I saw a bobcat yesterday. There's coyotes here, so there's water in the area, and according to the map, there's a spring down over in this direction somewhere. This may be exactly what this is about. This may be their little route to the spring. Yeah, we're going to find out. Just saw a golden eagle fly off the rocks over this way and over the top. Didn't bother to try to videotape it for you guys. You wouldn't have been able to make out anything but a little blob in the distance flying. But a young golden eagle. Well, I've been hiking now for about an hour, hour and a half. I'm on the, east side of the Granite Mountains. And according to the gazetteer maps, like I said before, there's supposed to be some springs up here. And I had no idea if I was going to find them, if they exist or not. But this canyon looked promising here. And I'll see if I can zoom in here enough that you can see it. But that golden yellow right back in there, there's a big rock right in that area there, right above the left, you might be able to see some golden kind of leaves. Well, those are cottonwoods. Tuhali is the Apache word for spring, and I always call cottonwoods and willows tuhali trees because they grow around springs. So that's a good sign there is a spring right up in there. Now that doesn't mean that the water's on the surface, but that's a good indication. So we'll go up there and we'll see if there's a spring there or not. And looky what we got here. The most precious gift of the friend in the desert. Water on the surface. Clean water. Without a bunch of cow crap floating in it. Wow, you can actually, probably still, nowadays all water sources they say are contaminated with Giardia. But in a pinch, I don't think I'd lose too much sleep about drinking this without filtering it. But hey, look at that. Water. Water in the Granite Mountains of the Mojave Desert. Startled a bunch of quail when I came up on here, and another owl, smaller one. I'm thinking maybe another long-eared owl. We'll see if we get a look at it. I'm going to back away from this and sit down, take a nice little break, and I'm going to toot my flute in honor of this spring, and whatever, way I make my music, if you would call it that, on the flute is, I improvise. Sometimes I'll have a seed that I start with, but basically just whatever comes out is what comes out. Sometimes, amazingly and quite surprisingly, what comes out sounds pretty damn good to me. Other times, not so much. So whatever comes out, I'm going to name it Mojave Spring. But, whether that'll be good or not, we'll see when we do it. Okay, so I'm going to call this whatever comes out of this. And sometimes they start off pretty rough and then they find their place. And sometimes they don't come out as anything. It all depends on everything. But this one, whatever, good or bad, I call Mojave Spring. Right up there is a pack rat midden. And pack rats, wherever they're at, and where if they happen to be in an area where there's cholla, will take the cholla joints, sections of cholla, and incorporate into their nests as a form of protection. Well, this guy here has done so, and he, I guess, was cleaning house, and he kicked a whole bunch of it right down there. And right after I got done playing the flute, I decided to take a seat right there and didn't really look down and set my ass right into a bunch of cholla joints. Unpleasant, and you would think, you know, I'm 48 years old, I lived my whole life in the desert, that I would stop doing that. No. You keep getting into cactus your whole damn life if you live out here. Just the way it is. Yeah, but I'll have some nice little pimply marks all over my ass where I sit on them. And since I'm bald, I no longer carry a comb, which is a great tool for removing cholla joints. So I made a mess out of getting it out, and I ended up poking my fingers and rolling it around on my ass even more than it needed to be. Oh well. Live and learn, or just live. Yeah, a little 360. Starting in the southwest. Going clock. This area right here, well, you wouldn't be able to tell just first glance, was an old Native American campsite, or the old ones. There's some charred stone there, but this doesn't really tell you that much. But what tells you that this was a campsite is all this. That's lithic debris. This is the debris left over from the making of stone tools using flint knapping, which I am a practitioner of that art. Probably nowhere near as good as these guys were, because they had to for a living, but this was for making stone tools. You know, knives, arrowheads, whatever they needed. You know, they made their own. They didn't have a cutlery shop. They can go and get a knife, and then go to Walmart and get what they needed. They made what they needed to get what they needed right out here. And this is along the route up through the pass that I came through, which I'm sure is the paths they used. They probably, the spring that I was at was right over here. They probably stopped there on their way and drank and rested up and gathered water, and then pretty much followed the same route I'm doing. You know, and they stopped and camped along the way. And while they were camping, they worked on their tools, especially if they were hunting sheep and stuff up here, which I don't know if there's sheep up here now, but they probably were then. So pretty cool. Signs of the old ones. Just about in the pass, back down to where I'm camped. Beautiful granite boulders all through here, this whole mountain range. Little caves, little nooks, little arches, windows. It's pretty cool. I was going to get all whiny, but I'll keep that to myself this time. Laying here are a couple of pottery sherds. Some charcoal, nice little cave kind of thing here with soot on the roof. This is probably another little campsite that the old ones had. I can imagine they were probably carrying a load of pottery with them for water or for trade. And some kid, one of their kids, wasn't paying attention and he dropped one of the pots. Cracked it there, and he's like, man, your parents are like, damn, carry this crap on my back all this time, and you kids are being all careless and you end up breaking the pots. Probably got a spanking. Except most Native American groups are pretty indulgent with their children. They pretty much allow them to do whatever they want, because, you know, they're only going to be kids for a while and life is hard. So let them have fun. So I'm through the pass now, on the other side. And look at this. Pristine archaeological site. Wow, I didn't know that the Mojave had plastic knives. Now this is a modern campsite. So there's a road that comes up in here. And my research on the Park Service website says that you're allowed to camp at any place where there is you can remote camp just about any place that there's already an existing fire pit. So you could come up here and camp right at the foot, drive right up the foot of this. Probably couldn't in my car. I have a Dodge Neon, has no clearance. But a little picket probably get you in here.